Marius, I just want to know, we've got the question on my social pages, is that what do you think AI is going to do to the trading market, to the crypto trading market? Do you think crypto or AI is going to replace human trading?
That's actually a really great question there, because but to go back into that question, we just need to go back slightly. Artificial intelligence is definitely coming into cryptocurrencies, but it's going to take a bit of time just to filter right through cryptocurrencies. Artificial intelligence is already in the world stock markets. You see that with hyper trades, where they do these trades extremely fast. But as you know, that in my algorithm, when we started here in 2015-16, if you go here to bitcointaf.com and you go right here down here to the bottom, you'll be able to see here on the bottom that we started in 2016, and that is where I introduced our predictive algorithm. Now, the predictive algorithm is another word for artificial intelligence, really. And if you look at what we have done since 2016, long before anybody else really used it, we started with doing that. And when you go to, let's say, the products here, and you go to my product here on the top left here, and you go to view, you're going to see that what we do, it's here written somewhere, that is technical analysis with Marius Landman using algorithm sequences. Now, an algorithm sequence is basically an algorithm, it's got like artificial intelligence. Then we also use mathematical equations and time cycles. Now, you can encapsulate that in a bracket, and you can just say artificial intelligence. Now, remember, if we go back in historical data, then basically you're looking at four different areas, really, in my opinion. You look at using algorithms to predict markets, meaning using artificial intelligence to predict markets more accurately, analyzing the sentiment of the market, analyzing time cycles, and then kind of like what your question is, will AI take over trading? Now, that's kind of like the third step, when you look at automated artificial intelligence trading. So, yes, it is going to take the market over, but it's not going to take it over in one specific day. You can't put a timestamp on it and say on 1 December 2000 and whatever that year is, artificial intelligence is going to take over. The problem is there's a lot of manual work that happens in algorithm sequences, mathematical equations, time cycles, aka artificial intelligence. Okay, so I hope that answers the question, but we can get a little bit more deeper into that if you want.
Awesome. Marius, so in terms of uh, AI in your algorithms, does it make a huge part of your reports, or do you still use like qualitative analysis as well into your reports?
Yeah, now thanks for that question. Yes, it does make a big part. As a matter of fact, when you look at this now, where I say that it uses algorithm sequences, mathematical equations, time cycles, that is exactly what we use. So it's about 100% where artificial intelligence is making, where we use that to prepare our analysis. Now, we were probably one of the first people in the world to do it, and I think other people are now catching on. But you also have to understand that it's not a process where artificial intelligence will just take over. It's going to be a process. Now, I had to go and develop my own software to work this out. Whereas you're going to find that in the next 10 to 20 years is that there will be software developed without the human interface, really, which will be a lot more easier to understand, that will actually show you when to buy and sell. Artificial intelligence can be a problem for us as well. Now, one of the biggest problems, kind of like in the cryptocurrency industry, really is the volatility in the market. The other problem is also that the databases that we analyze is so large. And at this point in time, we have to do it manually. Because one of the other problems, remember this now, artificial intelligence will struggle to figure out what is true news and what is fake news. There's a very, very big problem. And if you feed the artificial intelligence all the fake news, then it's going to kick out the wrong input data. So you're always going to have that method there where you're going to have to kind of like write software to figure out is the data fake or not, and how do you do that? Because does it say that if the CIA posts information like they did now and said Russia blew up their own pipeline, is that correct or is it wrong? Russia says they didn't blow it up. So you get these two 50-50% points here, you know, where artificial intelligence will not be able to work that out. What is good about artificial intelligence really is that everything is on a blockchain in cryptocurrencies. You can't fake it. And that is the beauty about cryptos. Now, this makes that combination between AI, artificial intelligence, and blockchain so powerful because blockchain keeps a digital record of transactions. Now, since blockchain enables data to be stored and shared in a secure manner, artificial intelligence can literally then analyze that data, generate insights in the historical data of the blockchain data. And then based on the historical data, this is what I say, where we get into these time cycles. So yes, AI, it's there, but it's not going to take over the entire world just in the next year or two. You always are going to have your input that will have to be manually. And then just to touch on a second point also, AI can to a certain extent analyze market sentiment. But you and I, Vickers, we can analyze the market sentiment a little bit better, but we can use AI to give us a little bit of those indicators, but you're still going to have a human interface or a human hand that has to analyze that data. And this is what we do really at Bitcoin Trader Forecast as well, because, you know, we analyze all this data and then we write a PDF report with all the different charts in there. So you still, AI cannot do that. But AI, if we plan this now, let's say step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, step 5, you can use an AI artificial intelligent bot, for example, to trade your own cryptos up and down. You can use that. And that is poking its head out to a certain extent. And over the last 2 years, it's been reformed and reworked. And those artificial intelligent bots, which we also have and want to bring on onto Bitcoin TAF, is poking its head out, and it is coming to market at one point. Similar, now remember, the stock market is actually already using artificial intelligence. You know that in the stock market, you know, the hyper trades, it's better referred to as high frequency trading. High frequency trading. It's kind of like they could have just named it artificial intelligence.
Yes.
Over to you, Vikas.
Marius, awesome. Oh, wow. I'm blown away by this amount of information that you give. So thanks for that. I really appreciate the input. I'm sure the viewers will appreciate just a view and how AI is playing a huge part and how it's going to change our lives or make our trades more profitable. Thank you very much, Marius.
Yeah, absolutely. Just to touch on another point there with regard to, let's say, your artificial intelligence. Remember this now, that when you look at the market, a big part of artificial intelligence that I just spoke about was how does artificial intelligence analyze market sentiment? That's one of the biggest problems. Because commonly what I do in my data, there's kind of like 3 different areas that we analyze, for example, market sentiment, which is kind of like your polarity, your tone, or your emotion, and then kind of like an aspect-based sentiment analysis. So those 3 things are actually really important when you analyze the market. And you see right now that with polarity, I mean positive, negative. How positive are people? How negative are people? So at this point in time, you can see that people are really negative. Okay. So when it's negative, it means the market is down. So you can either be positive, negative, or neutral. But this negativity now in our membership from the polls that we have done is that people are starting to become neutral now. So that means that the market is about to turn around and go to the upside. And then your second thing is kind of like your tone, your emotion, the way you talk, the way that people feel what you say on the other side. Because remember, these days we tweet and we send messages. And how do people perceive those messages? Because they didn't hear you talk. I can talk very harsh and say, listen, man, you need to do this. You're not doing this right. And then I can mean it very positive, or people can read that tone is very bad. So the emotional tone in the text, and this is where artificial intelligence is not running or not getting it correct yet, is that tone, the emotion. They don't get it right. But under polarity, they can, because you can be positive, negative, or neutral. Artificial intelligence can read that. And that's data that we've already developed. But now your last point is kind of like your aspect-based sentiment analysis. It's kind of like where I send a poll out to categorize the data. I would send that poll out, and then I get that sentiment-based data back. And when the data comes back, people will tell me, listen, out of 1 to 100, how positive are you? And people will say 62. Or you can make it very simple, 1 out of 10, how positive are you? It's kind of like, what is your pain? Is your pain 1 to 10? The doctor asks for 10 bad, and you say, oh, my pain is 9. This is very bad. Or my pain is 2. And then you can hear that feeling. Now, artificial intelligence there is good with that, with polarity. It's good with aspect-based sentiment with poles, but it's not good with tone or emotions. Once that gets sorted out in a volatile market like cryptocurrencies, that, Vikas, that is when you're going to see that the high-frequency trading is going to start coming in cryptos. It's going to start in Bitcoin, and that's why Bitcoin goes very volatile. You know, it will go up. In my analysis, for example, Bitcoin goes up to 1 million. It actually goes a lot more. I'm not going to say exactly on this call exactly where it's going to go because it's private information to our members only. But at one point, Bitcoin drops in one day with 250,000. Now, if you only rely on artificial intelligence, you're going to lose your butt because the artificial intelligence will not be able to predict that. So people still need to understand you need to be very cautious with artificial intelligence or what we will call high frequency trading. It's not that simple. It's not that easy. However, you're going to see the human population is very smart, and you're going to see they are going to start developing that a lot better. The bots and these things that we have now, the artificial intelligence is very mediocre. In terms of a scale from 1 to 100%, I rate them probably at about 5 or 10%, not even 10. So that's how far away we are from a proper artificial intelligence. So I hope this information added a little bit of value to you. If there's anything else you need to know, I mean, I can talk all day about artificial intelligence in cryptocurrencies because I use that. We were one of the first in the world to use that. And I use that, as I say, in algorithm sequences, mathematical equations, and time cycles. The funny thing is many people mention these and they also say, that's what I do, but I don't really think they understand what it really entails. But thank you so much, because great call. I'm happy to chat with you. Awesome.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Marius. Appreciate your time. Have a blessed day.
That's great. Thank you very much, Vikas.